Well, hello, everyone. I am Dr. Parker, and today's micro learning session is on diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, also known as DEIA. And this is the micro learning session for uh, June 15th. This is my contact information here. And as always, rules for the open forum discussion are on the screen. These are going to be the topics that we were discussing today regarding DEIA. Feel free to pause the video at any time to review. So when we are talking about DEIA, I'm just always curious to know and understand, without trying to define it yourself, what thoughts come to mind when you think about it? What is it? Was it about DEIA that you know, wish you knew more about, so forth and so on, right? So when we're talking about DEIA, as you can see here on the screen, when we talk about diversity, what it is and what it is not. Diversity is about embracing and valuing differences, right? In those categories there. The equity aspect of it is about ensuring fair treatment, right? Opportunities, advancement. When we talk about inclusion, we're talking about creating an environment. Keyword, creating an environment in which any individual group can be or feel welcome, right? And then when we're talking about accessibility, which a lot of times is forgotten about, we're talking about ensuring that everyone has access to the opportunities and or resources or facilities and environments that are inclusive, especially in accommodating, right? Accommodating. What it is not, it's not some one-time initiative. It's not some superficial gestures without long-term commitment. It's not an isolated effort without widespread buy-in, right? Or support from everybody within the organization. It's not practices that maintain existing power structures and disparities. So keywords, what DEIA is and is not. Feel free to pause the video to go through each one individually. So the significance of DEIA in a contemporary context. So we know DEIA ensures every individual feels valued and empowered. In a diverse world, in a diverse organization, in diverse teams, globalized workplaces is part of that diverse team. DEIA improves organizational culture, employee morale, creativity, and productivity through belonging and social responsibility. Keywords, belonging and social responsibilities. It provides a competitive advantage by enhancing talent attraction, problem solving, and social perception. Many agencies today will have a DEI statement in many of their job postings that you see. So keep an eye out for that. DEIA fosters a just and inclusive society, positioning the organizations for lasting impact and the navigation of the many challenges that organization will face. So each slide will have a set of questions. Feel free to pause the video to review the questions and kind of formulate some answers as they relate to the questions. As you'll see, these are not yes or no answers. These are not fill in the blank answers. All right, so take some time. Let's look at defining diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. DEIA represents a really, really big paradigm shift in organizational operations and individual engagement itself. So when we're specifically talking about the diversity aspect of DEIA, diversity celebrates that richness of the differences between us as aspects enriching organizational culture and the organizational wisdom. right? The equity aspect ensures the fair opportunities because it really dismantles those systemic barriers for everyone to be able to thrive within the organization. The inclusion aspect creates an environment where diverse voices are actively sought. We want to hear from you, and they're actually valued. When we're talking about accessibility, the accessibility is the removal, right? Equity dismantles. Accessibility removes those barriers, hindering the full participation in all aspects of work or our organizational life. So DEIA is really an interwoven tapestry where diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility really strengthens one another. So defining DEIA calls on the organization to really foster that culture that respects every individual's dignity, every individual's dignity. And DEIA's evolving definition requires the organization to adapt strategies that really engage in ongoing learning. So again, take a few minutes, look over the questions, formulate answers, and have a conversation. Understanding the interconnectedness of DEIA, right? How does it connect? How do their individual principles connect? So DEI principles form an interconnected web. This web is crucial to organizational culture and societal progress. So diversity is the foundation. It spurs creativity and adaptability through varied perspectives of you, your team members, your group, your organization. Equity is the bridge. Equity forms a bridge between diversity and inclusion because it, as I mentioned, dismantles the barriers and ensures fair opportunities are given to everyone in the organization. When we're talking about inclusion, the inclusion actively engages the value and values diverse voices, really turning representation of the people into influence for the people. And accessibility ensures the full participation, ultimately completing the inclusion puzzle itself, right? DEIA's interconnectedness really fosters belonging, collaboration, innovation, and problem solving. So understanding its dynamic cycle ensures a transformative impacts within and beyond the organization. So inside and outside of your organization. And its strategies really drive positive change. It really enriches the organizational environment and it borders society. I'm sorry, and the broader societal footprint, right? So that's understanding the interconnectedness of DEIA. Again, a few questions here for you. Feel free to pause the video to better understand what we're talking about here, formulate some answers, and then have that discussion. Finally, the impact of DEIA on organizational culture. So DEIA is and should always be used as a catalyst for change, shaping the organizational identity, its values, and its operations. You could also say perspectives. DEIA shapes values, fosters respect, innovation, and collaboration within your organization. So that's a positive. Diversity breaks homogeneity, ensuring that creativity and leading to equity, right? It breaks homogeneity, enhances creativity, leading to equity. Inclusion ensures every voice is heard, valued, valuing contributions, and boosting motivation, morale of your staff or your overall organization. You know, DEIA really resonates externally, not just within your organization, but when you're outside of your organizations, right? Attracting socially responsible clients, partners, and investors that I know your company needs. DEIA transcends just basic policy. Policy is important, but it transcends policy, integrating into the organization's DNA, right? And fostering advocacy. The DEIA driven culture drives business success and broader societal progress. Very important. Broader societal progress. And it creates a lasting legacy of positive change through its profound impacts. So as before, there are a few questions up here for you to feel free to pause the video, read over the questions, formulate any answers you might have the discussion about these questions as they relate to the impact the DEIA has on the organization culture. So these were the topics we discussed today. The next microlearning session can be registered for on our website, mvptrainingsolutions.com. And you go out to the microlearning sessions and you just scroll down to the next session, which is going to be the gender intelligence from a female leader perspective, gender intelligence. Hit the enroll button and follow the steps. Next session is going to be the 6th of July, 2024 at 11 a.m. This is what the typical microlearning session certificate of completion looks like. So everyone who joins in on the actual live session would receive this certificate. Feel free to send over any questions you might have. And that is the end of the session. Just want to say thank you all for checking out the video. More information can be found on our YouTube page, MVP Training, MVPTS. Also on our homepage, mvptrainingsolutions.com. Have a wonderful weekend.